All right.
Back on set with us, senior contributor at The Federalist, Ben Weingarten, along with economic strategist Francis Newton. Good to have you both back here. Ben, I want to ask you, so Katrina and I have been talking about this, about what's going on behind the scenes and what is Canada not doing that they should be doing? I mean, is the president right to say, hey, because he called out California when we had the California wildfires, saying, you guys aren't managing your forests. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's only a logical thing for a head of state to ask when there's a massive ecological disaster like this and it's impacting our daily lives. What happened? Who's responsible for it? Are there damages potentially? Yes, that's one aspect of it. But also, was there potentially gross negligence here, legally or otherwise? And to your point, in California and other places, there have been issues with brush management, where oftentimes due to environmentalist forces, they say we're not allowed to have controlled burns, et cetera. And then as a consequence of it, you have these natural disasters. So is that occurring here? We understand that a lot of the brush fires are happening in extremely remote regions, not easy to access, et cetera. We need a full accounting for it, though, obviously, because all you have to do is walk outside of New York City last week, and the fire was everywhere.
Yeah, I know. It burned my throat.
It's terrible.
It's interesting, kind of a two-part question here for you, Francis. I mean, first of all, to Ben's point, I mean, this is something that if it's been, we know this has been happening. I've lived in New York for 30 years. It has only been happening every year for the past 4 years, same time of year for, again, 4 years. Right. So if they know it's happening at a certain time, they know it's going to happen, they know what the effect is going to be. I understand if you can't stop the fires, whether they're remote or not, they need to be controlled better because of all this damage. But my second part of my question is, or the real part of my question is, talk about not just how it is not healthy, but also all of those businesses that are affected, that are closed because of it. I remember when it first happened a few years ago, the bunch of us didn't go to a Yankees game we were supposed to go to because the air was too bad.
Right. No, it's so toxic. I actually I was living in Reno for a short time when the California wildfires broke out. We couldn't go outside. We had ashes on our cars and things like that. Oh. It's extremely toxic. As you've said, this is a recent phenomenon. So again, the environmental issue, it's better to have the smaller environmental interruption than this massive disruption that kills wildlife. It gets rid of houses, it kills possessions, it costs people gazillions of dollars. And so I do think that there needs to be a full investigation, because if there is a way to prevent it, once it gets out of control, it's almost hard, it's so impossible to stop. And I know that from living out west. Trump is a genius at making these things issues on Truth Social, because for those of us not in New York City, and I flew here yesterday afternoon, I wouldn't know otherwise, you see? So he's a genius at bringing this to everyone's attention, and then that puts pressure on the officials to do all of the right things, and that's what he's done here.
Yeah. Ben, is this more than, to that point that Francis makes, more of a political move on Trump's part? I mean, is it practical that tariffs are going to be raised and we're going to get money for it?
I think that it is a political move, but there's merit to it, and it's part of a much broader issue, which is U.S.-Canada relations writ large. And there are a lot of negative byproducts potentially of that. One of them seems to be the environmental ones, the quality of life, the economic knock-on effects, et cetera. So I think this is part and parcel of, it's linked to a much broader, I don't know if we'd call it a confrontation, but clearly a conflict between our two nations, and a nation that should be a friend, an ally, and a partner that helps benefit the U.S. interest.
Yeah, I think also, whether he does it or not, I think it's also a not so subtle message: get it together and stop
this. It's leverage, though. It's the art of the deal all day long.
That's what you said. All right, Francis, Ben, thank you.
Former CNN